Hey everyone. Alright, so I'm going to do a series of videos about the quad, about this containment idea. This is going to explain how the knee energy is, what the sacrum is doing, how it forms the lower part of our body. Then after that we're going to match it to the upper part, which is doing the same thing. So this is really important concept to understand, is this idea of Kwa is different than what other martial arts present. So if the knees are looking at the person, you don't have the Kwa. There's no way. So if you're lined up with the person, you can't have a Kwa. If your knees are pointed at them, your elbows are pointed at them, you don't have a Kwa. So our knee power doesn't just go out, it comes out the back and around. Now the knees by themselves are quite useless. So when we put power out the back of our knee, you start to feel everything engaged, kind of the chicken feet kind of pull. You haven't really done much, just thinking out the back of the knees. This should pull your knees out and energy around. Your sacrum, when you pull it out back, the sacrum pushes down in between your legs and sends the power out. So the sacrum sits in the claw. It doesn't sit on the claw. So the difference is when my knees are pointed forward at the person, at the opponent, and I sit my sacrum, it only pushes me forward. It's kind of like an unbalanced forward. So when we have this draw out the back of the knees, now the sacrum sits down and forward. This creates the knees not looking at the opponent. So if you notice, my knees are over here. They're not looking at the opponent. They're ready to swallow the opponent. The sacrum sits down, in, and this is what powers the Kwa. Without the sacrum, you're just kind of standing on the ground. So the sacrum really needs to get down in between the knees. And as it rips forward, the knee power can go around. So it's actually more of a back power with the knees than a forward type power. This allows us, when we go lower, that we can keep our structure. Looks like we're bending, but we're not. We're still able to defend from up to down. So without this Kwa, if our knees are just forward and we're just standing with we can't really go down very far without falling backwards. So we don't want that. So when our sacrum kicks in, now we can go all the way down. Nice power all the way down. Now you won't be able to go that low at first. You can go pretty low, as long as the knees are out. As soon as the knees come in, now we're in trouble. So this is the Kwa. This is how we move. This is what I mean by the knees can't be in line with the feet. They actually have to be ripping around while the sacrum pushes in and forward. This puts us into our chicken feet. So this idea creates dragon body, creates this kind of angled body with power at the front, the post at the front. This sacrum creates the chicken feet, so you start to feel the toes kind of grip, the heels come off the ground a bit. Now if I'm looking forward at the opponent, it actually hurts a little bit. It's like stress on the legs. When I do this correctly and my sacrum sits down, I can sit here forever. As long as my sacrum is pushing in and forward, I can sit here forever. So this is the quad being opened. Any closing of this is bad. So when we move, this is how we move with vertical power. If our knees are forward, we end up pushing. We don't want to push. When our knees are correct and the sacrum is correct, now I can create power in place. But you can't do that if your knees are pointed forward and at the person. So this isn't to say that you don't have power forward in your knees. The sacrum creates that grip of the legs. It pushes us into our structure. So this is what we're looking for with the quad. We want the power of the knees to be like a kind of a circle, a force field around us. So if somebody touches you from the back, doesn't matter, you have this power already. It's coming out the back of your legs, your back of your knees. So we want to have the knees come out, the sacrum come in and push everything forward and out. This will allow us nice spring power to stay in our structure. Alright guys, so this is the quad. This is how we move every step. This is why we can hit. If my knees are forward, I'm just simply banging off the pole. If I'm correct, now it's a nice heavy hit. So, without this quad, you don't really have the Xingyi principles quite yet. So really make sure that sacrum pushes everything out and around, and we maintain that. That's what helps us rip with the chicken feet. Helps us step up every time. This quad has to be there every time we move, every time we're still. Alright guys, hope this helps.